Shammai Omrim. L'yimne Yisrael imakoyin lebchor. The Yisrael shouldn't be counted together to eat with the Bechor. Basically, you shouldn't invite him, a kohen who's eating his Bechor, Balmum, right? Talking about a Balmum.
What is it, Xeris?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see why Bishami holds not. So, Bishami holds the Yisrael is not supposed to eat Balmum Bechor with a kohen. Okay, obviously there's some kedusha left. It's not fully chulin. Vesil matirim v'afilo yigachavim. So they'll say even a non-Jew, it's 100%. It lost its kedusha. Maslis in Mani Rabbi Akiva. He says more Mishnah's Rabbi Akiva the Tanya. Bechor ein nimnu nolav el chavur shekol kohen. You can only invite on the Bechor to eat this Bechor Balmum only a group of everyone's koyanim. Even zarim meaning non-koyanim. Rabbi Akiva Mata Afilo Ev Kachavim. Rabbi Akiva holds even Ev Kachavim. So Rabbi Akiva who says even Ev Kachavim, and our Mishnah says even Ev Kachavim. Rabbi Akiva is saying a version of Beis Hillel which says not only Yisraelim even Ev Kachavim. So that's why our Mishnah is Rabbi Akiva, because that version of Beis Hillel is going like Rabbi Akiva says. Okay. My time is a Beishamai. What's the reasoning of Beishamai? Right? Either way, there's a hekesh between Bechor to the basar of Shoik and Chazeh.
Which only goes to
the Kohen. Ma hasam kohanim in Yisrael loy af hacha kohanim in Yisrael loy. So Beishamai has a hekesh, and therefore he says Bechor Balmum also, you're not allowed. It still has to be eaten only to the kohanim. We still hani militam. We still says that hekesh. That's talking about a tam animal that actually is a carbon. It goes on the mizbeach, and therefore the kohanim have to eat it like chazan shoik. But aval balmum ksiv. It says beferish by balmum. It says atomei v'ator yachdav yichalanim. That both the tamei and the tar can eat it together. Ma tamei she'ein arechol b'kashim kalam. Right, so the pasuk says the fair by Psulai Mikdashim it gets a balmum, a tamei and a tahar can eat it together, meaning the Torah is saying there's no kedusha left, right? So it says Beis Hillel, u'matamei she'enachol b'kachim kalim, if even a tamei, they can't eat b'kachim kalim. Oichel b'buchar, he's allowed to eat with a buchar because the Torah says they could eat with buchar. Zar she'oichel b'kachim kalim, Yisrael that could eat shlamim, right? You could eat his kachim kalim. So in the din she'yechal b'buchar for sure, you should be oichel b'buchar, right? Because you see that a zar must be better than tamei, and if a tamei could eat a bechor, so for sure a zar could eat a bechor. That's Beis Hillel's reasoning. There's the Gemara, Yikal Mefrach, for sure, Malatam Shkin Hutam Mechlol about what is tzibur. Maybe tamei is better, because a tamei is Hutam Mechlol about what is tzibur. That if the ganze tzibur is tamei, let's say you have Rav Yisrael is tamei, so you bring tum hocher tzibur. The halacha is that if most of the tzibur is tamei, so then you anyway bring the korbanos, and then the tmeim do eat the korbanos anyway. Right? So you see, so maybe that's the reason why Bechor is allowed to be eaten al yidei tamei, is because tamei has this leniency that could be eaten if Rav Yisrael is tamei. Rav Tzibur is tamei, so tum hocher b'tzibur, so therefore.
Rashi says talking about the kain is tamei. There's no kain Torah in that Beisav. There's the avodas at tzibur. Im ein kain Torah Beisav Beisav tamei. Avodas tzibur. Tiksiv b'moed afil b'shar afil b'tum. Okay. If we don't have kohanim, so you see, as the tumah pushes off avodah, right? So maybe because of that, so tumah has a special leniency. Therefore, Bechor eats tamei, eats from tumah, right? But maybe zar not. So don't bring me a raya from tumah to zar. So the Gemara Beisil atu about avodah ka'amar, b'achila ka'amrinan. Did I tell you that avodah? Right, that avoida bizar is more chashav than tamei? No, I said become ba'achila karminan. Achila zarod. If I was talking about achila, don't bring me a raya from the fact that a tamei is mutar ba'avoida, and now he's going to be mutar ba'achila. No, I proved to you that by achilas kachim a zar is better because a zar could eat kachim kalim and a tamei can't eat kachim kalim, and therefore don't bring me Yesh koyach, a tamei by avoida, a tamei has a certain leniency. Don't bring me avoida, I'm talking about achila. Okay. Rabbi Akiva, matar fil av gechavim. Rabbi Akiva holds even a goy. My time to Rabbi Akiva, katzvi v'chayil. Pasuk says, the psulam mikdashim is katzvi v'chayil. Matzvi v'ayil mutal lav gechavim. Just like a deer and a ram is mutal lav gechavim. They're never karbanis, right? Because you can't bring a carbon from a tzvin and ayil. It's always going to be mutal lav gechavim. Av psulim. So too, a b'char balmum became puzzle is mutal lav gechavim. The idach. And the other opinions who don't agree with Rabbi Akiva, who hold that it's also to a goy. It says katzvi v'chayil. So it says tlasa tzvi v'ayil ksivi. There are 3 times it says tzvi v'ayil in the Torah. That compares psulam mikdashim to deer and ram and ayols, whatever. Chad l'chad Rabbi Yitzchak. One is like Rabbi Yitzchak of Rabbi Yishaya, which both Rashi and Rabbi Gershom said we don't know what it is. We never saw the statement in Shas, what exactly Rabbi Yitzchak and Rabbi Yishaya learned from it. Chad l'chad Rabbi Elazar ben HaKapar, which is learned in Shchitas in second parak of Chulin. The Idach, and the next, the other Tzvi and Ayil is learned Matzvi v'Ayil P'tur min HaBechor, Avsalam G'dashim P'tur min HaBechor. Just like Tzvi and Ayil can't make a Bechor. Bechor is only by Bakor Vatzayin, right? So too, if a Bechor Balmum has a baby, has a firstborn child, it's not going to be a Bechor. So to all other Psulam Mukdashim, that was on Daf Yudalad, we had the Mishnah, which said that Psulam Mukdashim that have a kid, the animal is not a Bechor. The firstborn is not a Bechor. So either way, what the Gemara is saying over here is that Tzvi and Ayil are all used up. We used up our Tzvi and Ayils for other drushes, one for Rabbi Yishaya, one for Rabbi Yishaya, one for Rabbi Akar, and one Akapar, and one for this, to say that Psulam Mikdashim don't give birth to a Bechor. So therefore we can't learn Rabbi Akiva. Okay? Tarabana. Bechor ein machidin lo'isel l'nidos. You can't give a Bechor, you can't feed a Bechor to a woman who's a nida. Divrei Beishamai. So lo emre machidin lo'isel l'nidos. You're allowed. My time to Beishamai Diksiv, same reasoning. It says, just like by Kadshim, by Chazan, Shoik, a nida is not allowed to eat. Also over here, no, again, that heck is talking about Tam, about Balmum, Atom Vator. It says Atom Vator, Ochla, they changed it to Yechelenu. Yachdav Yechelenu. So you see, so Tam is allowed. He says no. I understand that pasuk is talking about a tamei is allowed to eat a bechor balmum. That's only that a tamei is not yoytzel of mikufay. If, for instance, if a person touches a mace, right? So he has tumah, or he touches a shower, he touches a nevela, so that's tumah, but it's not tumah from something that comes out of his body. That's more chomer. If it's like nida, zava, balkari. Those things are nida, zav, zava, balkari. Those are tumas which are higher level tumas because it's the person's body himself causes it, and therefore that is the Beishamai holds that when the pasuk says that a tummy is allowed to eat kachim, it's talking about when the tummy is allowed to eat a bechor balmum. Right, psulei hamukdashim. Once it gets a mum, the tumah is allowed to eat it. That's talking about when the tumah is not yoytz alav megufay. Aval heicha the tumah yoytz alav megufay. That's a higher level tumah. Loy ashkachan. Loy. We don't say such a thing. The ashkachan, because we do find such a differentiation. We do find the Gemara is bringing a proof that there's do we say such a differentiation between the two different types of tumah? Where would Beishamai get that you make such a differentiation? The Gemara says right? We do find that there is a differentiation between tumah that comes out of the body, if Pesach that is brought b'tumah. Right? This also is talking about when you have no choice but to bring the korban Pesach. This is where Rashi says nitmu roiv tzibur. Over here, roiv tzibur was nitmu, and they made Pesach b'tumah. Right, so let's say you have over there someone who's a zav and a zava. Right, everyone's tamei meis. So since Reva Tzibur is tamei meis, you make a korban pesach anyway. How about the zavim and zavas that are there too? Do they have to wait for Pesach Sheni, or no? Once everyone's tamei making a korban anyway, so you're zav and zava. So what? Yeah, everyone else is tamei anyway. So we learn out that that's not true. It's not. Pesach Sheba B'Tumah lo yochel ben a zavim mitzarayim. A zav mitzara, a zavais, v'nidais, v'yoldais. See, beferish that it's a different level. Right, so you see, Beis Shammai has precedent. He says, you see, by Pesach, when Pesach is when the Isser Tumah is nidche mipnei Pesach, when the Korban Pesach has to be brought by Tumah anyway, which type of people that are tamei allowed to bring it? Only people that are tamei meis, because they touch the sheret. But someone that's tumah al tumah gufa, that's a higher level tumah that we're not mater. So to over here says Beis Shammai, we're not going to be mater them to eat a bechor. Rasul Hasan would go Rachmana Tami Nefesh. Rasul says no, that's an isolated din only by Pesach Sheni. Why? Because by Pesach Sheni it says ish ki tamei lo nefesh. Someone who is tamei lo nefesh, right? So him he has to bring Pesach Sheni, and from that pasuk is where we learn that it's only if ish ki tamei lo nefesh, only if individuals are tamei lo nefesh. But if Rav of the Tzibur was tamei lo nefesh, then they are allowed to bring the korban in the original time. They don't have to all bring Pesach Shenis. That's the concept of Pesach. That's the concept that if Rav the Tzibur was tamei, they could bring the regular Pesach because tumah hutra b'tzibur. So therefore, because we learn it from that pasuk, right? So it says Beis Hillel, it says ish ki tamei lo nefesh. We learn out from those words that only an individual who was tamei has to bring Pesach Sheni. But the tzibur that was tamei lo nefesh could bring it on the regular time. But what type of tumah is the pasuk talking about? Tamei lo nefesh, which is someone who touches the body, not someone whose tumah is yotzei and gufay. So again, Beis Hillel holds that that's dafka over there. Right? Hasan would go Rachmana Tamei nefesh. Hacha tamei stomach. It says tamei stam, just says regular, just says tumah. Lo yishna, doesn't make a difference what type of tumah it is. Okay. Tan Rabbanon. In Ragilin b'Yom Tov, you cannot be margil on Yom Tov. Margil on Yom Tov means let's say you shecht an animal Yom Tov and you want to skin the animal by way of the feet. If you skin it by way of the feet and get the full skin, you're able to make bags, some type of bags to keep honey or oil in it. Right? So are you allowed to do that on Yom Tov? Says the Mishnah, no. Ein margilin b'Yom Tov. Margilin is miloshen regel, the foot. You're not allowed to skin the animal by way of the foot in order to make a bag. So too, you cannot do it in a bechor. You can't do this process of skinning by a bechor. And not by Sulei Mukdashim that got a moment that we were nifta. You can't skin it in that way either. It says the more Bishlam Yom Tov Katarach Tircha Delay Chazilei. Yom Tov we can understand why it's also because it's Tircha Yisera. Tircha Yisera is also on Shabbos. It's on Yom Tov. You're not to do Tircha Delay Chazilei, which is not needed for on Yom Tov. Right? Ela Bechor. Mantana, who's this Tana that holds that Bechor Ba'amum still has certain dinim, right? That you can't. You have to be noyig as if it's still kachim, and you can't do things. You can't make it, skin it, and make it into a bag. Says the Gemara, Amram Chista Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai Damar Ein Mechil Nasi Lenidas Lenidas. It's Beis Shammai who holds. You see here, he maintains tumah. He maintains an isser for a tummy to eat it. Right, even after, I guess everyone's masking that even though it has a balmum, it's still also begins of balvoid. But Shammai holds even after you shecht it, right, even after, not only after it gets a moment, even after you shecht it, it still has tumah, and therefore it still has kedusha, and therefore they would be the ones who hold that you can't skin it in this way. Also, the Brisa continued and said that not just Bechor, all Psul and Mukdashim, if you have an animal that was designated as a carbon and got a balmum, you have to be paided. Right? This type of animal also, after you shechted, you can't be margil. Man Tana, who's this Tana that holds that Psula and Mikdashim also maintain their Kedusha? Reb Chisda, Reb Elazar, Reb Shimon, Ditnan. If a person separated two animals for his one chatas, he's chayiv one chatas, but he separated two animals. Basically, the Rashi explains what he did was is just in case one of them gets lost and one of them becomes a balmum, he'll use the other one. Right? So, achas tmima v'achas balas mum. Ended up being that one of them is tmima and one of them is balmum. A mum happened in one of them. So tmima tikarev, the one that's tam, obviously that should be brought as the chatas. Balas mum tipodeh. The balas mum should be then redeemed, right? Because it can't be used. He's not chayav chatas anymore. He brought his chatas with the other animal. However, if nishrato if nishrato balas mum, if then you shech the balas mum, right? So after you repaid it, right? It got a mum that this one can't be a chatas. You then paid it. Let's say this balas mum was shechted. It was shechted, right? So iman shali nizuk damashal tmima uteres. If it was before the first, the animal, the tmima, the chatas which you ended up bringing, the tmima, right? If the blood wasn't thrown yet when you shechted the balas mum, so then muteres. But if you only shechted the balas mum after you repaid it, but then what happened was is you shechted it after the dam of the tmima was already brought, so then asura. It's asur. Why is it asur? So Rashi explains is because it's like a chatas kipru ba'alel. It's chatas kipru ba'alel. So if the dam was not nizrak yet, so the dam wasn't nizrak yet, it's not chatas shekipru ba'alel. Din is by a chatas that if you have a chatas that let's say a guy has a chatas, he lost the chatas and brought a different chatas, right? So if the chatas shekipru ba'alel and that carbon has a din in mesa, right? It's one of the 5 chatos on mesas. So it's mamash asar ba'ano. You can't do anything with it. So to over here, if the dam was nizrak before he shechted it, so it's as if it's chatas shekibru ba'alel, and therefore the first if he shechts the animal now, it's after the zrika, so it's asar ba'ano. The animal's asar ba'ano. That's the chachamim's shita. Even if you shechted everything, you shechted it and it's cooking in the pot, and then nizrak damashot tmima, and then after that it's nizrak, still asura. So you see, he holds that even once it's shechted, right? Even once it's shechted, it could still get a status of it still maintains its status of chatas, because it was at one point earmarked for a chatas, right? So therefore, even after shechita, he holds, even if it's in the pot, he still holds at that point. If it would be called kippur ba'alel. So again, you see, Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon holds that psula mukdashim, right? Because this animal was kodesh. It got a mum, right? Psula mukdashim maintain their shem kedusha even after they're in a pot, right? Even after you shechted it, and right? And then because he holds that if it's in a pot cooking and then you throw the dam, it's already also because it becomes like a chatas shemesu ba'alel, that's a kippur ba'alel. So the Gemara wants to say that therefore Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon also is the one who holds that you can't be margil the animal, you can't skin it in this way, because he holds by Psula Mikdashim they maintain their kedusha. Reb Chisda said, "Look makula ki Beis Shammai." Why didn't he just say the whole thing's like Beis Shammai? Right? Maybe Beis Shammai agrees that by Psula Mikdashim also, right? Beis Shammai by us said only by Bechor. But it could be that they agree also by Psula Mikdashim. It's a similar thing. Both Bechor is a type of Psula and Mikdashim, and just like by Bechor they hold it stays Kaddish in the sense that a Nida can't eat it, maybe also by Psula Mikdashim they hold that you won't be able to be margalit. So look makula ki Beis Shammai. So more dima adkan like Beis Shammai. Maybe Beis Shammai said el Bechor kedusha some merechem about Psula Mikdashim. Like Bechor is a higher level because it's kedusha merechem. It's an innate kedusha from when it's born. The kedusha is only when you're makdash it. So like maybe they wouldn't agree. We're looking about kula Shimon. Maybe the fakir. So the whole thing like the Shimon. Why do you have to compartmentalize the brisa and say that ein margilin by Bechor, that's Beishamai, and the next part is ein margilin psulam mikdashim, that's Rav Shimon. Say the whole thing is Rav Shimon, just like he holds by Psulam Mikdashim, it's also so too by Bechor. So only by Psulam Mikdashim. Why the alimi limitvas pidyoinoi? Because Psulam Mikdashim, the halacha is once it gets a balmum, you have to be paid. That means that there is enough kedusha contained in the balmum in order, right? It's tangible enough to transfer it onto something else. Aval Bechor lo yalim limitvas pidyoinoi, but Bechor that after gets a balmum, there is no pidyon, right? You don't have to be pidyon anymore. There is no kedusha left, right? So in that situation, maybe he'll hold that you will. There's so little kedusha there, you won't even have to. You'll be allowed to be margulet. Maybe he'll hold. You don't have to be naigid with kedusha after you sheft it. Says the Gemara of Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon, less like kol psulam mikdashim. Nimkaran bitliz v'nishkolin b'litra. Does Rabbi Elazar Shimon not hold of our Mishnah? The Mishnah said the all psulam mikdashim can be sold in itliz, and then after it's v'nishchatim b'itliz, and after you shecht it, you'll have nishkal b'litra. So you see, after it's shechted, right, you're allowed to use it for anything, right? You're allowed to minig chulin, right? And he says no, you're not allowed to skin it in a certain way. The Gemara says, what do you see from our Mishnah? You see that since we're able to get more money out of the basar, if we sell it in the shuk, and if we weigh it the way you weigh regular animals, since there's benefit for akdish, so we allow it, right? So how does that fit with the Rabbi Shimon? Same thing, if we make better sacks out of the skin, we're able to make more money for psulam mikdashim. So Amarav Mori Braid Rav Kana, what it is very nice. You're making money through the R, but because you have to cut it in this way, you're subtracting the value of you're detracting the value of the basa. What you gain in R, you're detracting in basa, and therefore why should we let you do that? Looks like you actually it still looks like kachin, I guess, because you're skinning it while the animal is still intact, right? So it looks like you're actually skinning an animal of kachim. It doesn't look good. It's like you're doing avoida of kachim. It's like you're working with an animal of kachim. And then that if you leave it around, so Rashi explains that if we allow you to make these skin the bags out of the skin, so what happens is you're going to leave it, you're going to stick it around until someone comes and tells you, yeah, I want a bag of skin. I guess meat. Always people are there. You're not going to leave it around. People always want meat, but until you find a buyer for the skin, you don't always find one. So therefore, you're going to wait until you find one. And by the time you wait, it's going to have more adarim, and people are going to be goizes it and oivid it, and it's going to be machshel people with all the dinim of Psulam Mikdashim, and therefore we say it's asur. Okay. Right. Bechor she'achzei dam had some type of condition.
How does that make a mum? Because
so you have to be makiz the dam.
Yeah.
So depending on where you have to be makiz it. If it's in a place where it won't heal, like if it's in the Dukin Shabayin, Rashi says if it's in the Oizen, there are different places where if at that point you have to let out dam, it's not going to heal. It's a nick in the ear is considered a mum. So if it won't grow, if it'll be scarred, it won't grow back. So nivs vasa in the lip, huh?
You don't be makas down in a central area.
I guess it's dependent on
Is the ear achy?
It depends where the dam is located. Maybe it's like some type of centralized place.
I know. I would
Not
think
sure.
you just do it. You just take out down.
From anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. No, but what is this achizas hadam? What's this bechor she'achzei dam? What is it? It's dam needs to be bloodlet, or there's a certain place in the body where the dam collected and it needs to be let out.
Maybe it had a thrombosis or something.
What is it? Well, how do they translate it? What do they say it is? What type of sickness?
Seized by congestion of blood, even if it was unattended, may have left.
So depending on where the congestion is, you have to.
Whatever it is, it's a very threatening condition.
Right, it might even kill the animal. We'll see in the Gemara. So, okay, so even if it's gonna die, you're not makis dam. You can't let out the blood. Rabbi Yehuda. Chamarim yakis. Chum say no, you are makis. Eventually, after by moment, you should try. You should not make a moment. Right. So Rashi explains. Rabbi Yehuda holds you're even though in a place where it wouldn't make a moment, a place where you know it would heal, it should be fine, right? But still, Rabbi Yehuda's geyser. We knas. We say no, you're not allowed at all. Chachamim hold we don't knas. As long as you don't make a mum. However, if you did make a mum, you should not use that mum. Oh, you say, oh, now it's a mum, right? Now it's about mum, so I'm allowed to eat it. The kohen's allowed to eat it as chulin, right? Because it's a mum. No, you can't, because you're the one who made the mum. You can't do that. He says, you're allowed to be makis even though you're making a mum. Rabbi Shimon, we'll see, the Gemara explains, holds, just like on Shabbos, if you're not mechaven, so over here, you're not being mechaven to make a mum, you're being mechaven to... Right, it came up, the Sukkah Zaisa and the Zaisa, right. But over here also, he holds, Afal Pisha Ein Shaisa B'mum, Davar Shen Miskaven is mutter, and therefore, you're allowed to, because you're mechaven to be moitzi dam, you're not mechaven to make the mum, so it's fine. That's what Shimon's sheet. Tana Rabbanon, bechor she'achzei dam, bechor, the same machlekes, so you have a bechor that had achizas dam. Makizin lo yisad dam b'makom she'ein oisin b'mum. Ve'ein makizin lo yisad dam b'makom she'oisin b'mum. Meir holds that it has to be in a place where it's not going to make a mum. Makes a mum, it's awesome. Chachamim arim av b'makom she'oisin b'mum. Even in a place where it makes a mum, it'll be mutter. Rashi explains it means if it's going to die. Right, if it's going to die, then it's mutter according to Chachamim. You're allowed even in a place that makes a mum. As long as you don't use that mum to now be mata the animal, now you can eat it. You have to wait for another mum to happen. Shimon says no, you're allowed to be shaykhet even on that mum because he holds it's mamash mutter. Davashem miskaven is mamash mutter. Even it's going to die in makizin le'esadam, even in a place where it's not going to make a mum. Rashi explains because we're geyser. You don't want people to make any holes in the cars. So Masni Rabbi Elazar l'brei. Rabbi Elazar was taught his son ve'amri l'Rabchi l'brei. Some psukim to his son. Ki machlekes kan kach machlekes b'chavish al truma. Just like the machlekes we have over here, through the machlekes, so too the machlekes is b'chavish shel truma. What's the case of chavish shel truma? It's not chavish shel truma. It's not b'safek truma. You have a barrel of truma that you're not sure if a sheret's touched it or not. So you have a suffix of truma by chavish shel truma. If it's in a place that's covered, that's a place that's hidden, sorry, tarfa in a place where it's revealed, you should put it in a place that's more hidden, protect it more. If it was uncovered, you should cover it. So he holds, you should protect it. Rabbi Yeshua, he says the opposite. If it was in a hidden place, in a chenem v'makam hatorfa, you should reveal it more. If it was covered, you should uncover it. The Gemara says you just leave it the way it is. So what's the machlekes that's going on over here? So basically, the shaila is should you cause it? Should you? Rabbi Yeshua holds. The first sheet is Rabbi Elazar, who holds you should hide it. If it was uncovered, cover it. If it was open, you should hide it. Why? Because you don't want any tumah. You want to protect it from any further tumah that might come. Suffix tumah, we're not sure. You still have to protect it and make sure no tumah comes to it. Therefore, you should protect it even more. And you have to wait till the Yanavi comes to tell you whether it's a suffix tumah. You have to wait. You have to wait until you find out. Rabbi Yeshua holds fakir. He holds that
that you should be megala it so that let it become tamei again, and then at least you'll be able to use it for things that Truma Tamei is let it be used for. But like this, now it's in limbo, you're never going to be able to use it at all. So therefore, if you're sure you megala it, you leave it, you let it go, you uncover it even more. So now you basically you allow it, you facilitate more tumah to come. Not that you're doing it by yadayim still, right? You're not doing it by yadayim. You're not actually making it tamei, but you're still allowing the tumah to come more easily. You just leave it the way it is. Okay, so now the Gemara wants to say that these three tanoim are parallel to our machlekes. Rav Meir is Rabbi Eliezer. Rav Meir holds like Rav Meir by us, right? Who holds that only if you're only allowed to make a mum in a place where you're only allowed to be makis dam in a place where it's not going to make a mum. In a place to make a mum, you're not allowed to be makis dam, right? So he holds sort of like Rabbi Eliezer, who holds that you don't just leave it. He doesn't hold you're not allowed to touch it, right? He holds you're allowed to touch it, right? But in a way that's sort of protected, in a way that's going to protect it more. So therefore, according to Rav Meir, you're allowed to be makis dam in a place where it's not going to make a mum. Just like Rabbi Eliezer holds, you're supposed to be machnes it. It means you do deal with it, right? You do deal with it, but he doesn't go so far to say that you're allowed to make a mum at any place, right? So he is like Rabbi Eliezer. Right? Rabbi Eliezer is the one who holds that you have to be machnes, you have to protect it and wait till Eliyahu Navi comes, which means that we do look for some type of takana, right? We look for some type of takana for Eliyahu Navi to come, so therefore you have to cover it and make sure so that when you find out whether it's tamei or not. So Rav Meir does look for some type of takana that if it's a place where it's not going to make a mum, you're allowed to be makis, right? So Rav Meir is parallel to Rav Eliezer. Rabbanan is Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbanan hold that either way you're allowed to make a mum, right? So that's like Rabbi Yeshua who holds we take care of this, we make it tamei to take care of it. So too they hold you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do and you make a mum. Rabbi Yehuda who holds you don't touch it is Kerem that holds you don't touch it. Says the Gemara, now the Gemara is going to push off. We might. Dilmad can like come Rav Meir. Rav Meir only said it hacha. You have to change the girsa. Ad can like come Rav Meir hacha. Only over here Rav Meir said that it's usher to make a mum mamish to cover by a dime. You're doing it with the actual hands, right? You're actively making a mum. Aval hasam, but over there it's a grama, but over there, maybe that it's a grama, all you're doing is moving it outside. You're not actually putting the tumah there, you're just moving it out, you're uncovering it, so then maybe it's like a Yeshua. Oh, but it's indirect. Maybe it's like a Yeshua. Rabbi Eliezer holds, only over there he holds that you have to protect it more. Because there's a possibility that Eliyahu Navi is going to come and tell you it's dark. I don't know if it's Mam Shalyo or anyone who would know, right? He'll come and tell you it's dark. But over here, if you leave it, it's going to die. So maybe it's like the Rabbanan that you're allowed to actively make a mum. Maybe it's like the Rabbanan. Maybe the Rabbanan only say by us the only reason why they say over here that you're allowed to make a mum is because it's going to die. Maybe they'll hold Rabbi Eliezer because maybe Eliyahu could come, meaning there's a possibility for us to actually find out. It's not necessarily going to die. There's nothing dying here. It's truma, right? Rabbi Yehuda also over here says you don't touch it because you're actually even in a place where it's not a mum, where you're not going to make a mum, but still it's an active thing. So it's also Aval Hasam the grama over there is just a grama. Maybe again like a Yeshua Sfirle. That can look only says over there, therefore you don't touch it. Maybe Karabbanan Sfirle, again, same, all these svars. Either way, every one of the Tanas can switch each one of the Tanoim could switch their opinion because over here, it's going to die. So maybe Karabbanan Sfirle. Also, maybe even over here, you would agree you can make a move. The Oid says the Gemara, besides for the way we can refute this logically and say that that the Machlekes is not totally habiha, over here, machlekes has to do with psukim. The halcha b'kroy plig, over there the psukim. There are two separate machlekes, and over here it's a machlekes how to interpret the psukim by bechor, and over there it's a machlekes how to interpret the psukim by truma. The Amar of Chia Barabban Rabbi Yechon Hakol Moidi b'mechametz zachar mechametz. Everyone agrees by mechametz zachar mechametz. If you have a carbon, you have to make the menachas chametz, right? Let's say it was already chametz, and then you put more se'or, you made it more chametz, right? So are you over, are you not?
everyone agrees you are chayiv. There are two psukim. One loisei afeh, loisei asa, that teaches you that if you add more chimutz, you're chayiv. The Mesaris, Sachar Mesaris, everyone also agrees that by Mesaris, Sachar Mesaris, you're chayiv. I mean, if you have you're not allowed to make, Pasuk's parsha, right? You're not allowed to make an animal a sris. You can't make it not able to have kids, right? But let's say it's already not able to have kids. Part of it is already a krus shafcha or whatever. Part of it is already cut off. Can you do another thing to make it or not? So everyone agrees also in Mesaris, Sachar Mesaris, you're chayiv. How do you know that? Right, it says all these things. Ma'uch means it's smashed. Kasus means ma'uch means it's smushed. Like kasus means it's cut off. Nasuk, no kasus. Not sure what kasus is. Crushed. Okay, so there's smashed and crushed. Nasuk is partially cut off, and karus is fully cut off. Right. So imal koires chayev. Once it says karus is chayev al noisik like I guess it's the opposite. Karus means partially cut off, and nosuk means fully cut off, right? Imal karus chayiv, if partially cut off, you're chayiv. Al noisik like of course, if you fully detach it, you're chayiv. Why does Pasuk have to say nosuk and karus? Once karus, l'shon nosuk, ela lahavi noisik achar karus. The pshat is, let's say you have an animal that's karus, it's only a little bit, and then you fully detach it. Are you chayiv for that? So chayiv, yeah. That's why the Torah has to tell you noisik, to tell you that even though it's already a sris, you can't make it. You can't do another thing to be guarding the srisness. Okay, so loy nachligo. However, there is a machlekes b'matel mum b'bal mum. Let's say you have a mum and a bal mum. Let's say you have already an animal that has a mum, right? Could you make another mum or not? Regularly, you're not allowed to make a mum in kachin, in a bechor, right? But this animal already has a bal mum. So too over here in our case, because it's a chuz sadam, Rashi says ein lecha mum gadol mizeh, it's going to die. Right, if it's going to die because of this sickness that it has with the dam, this condition, so that's like 100% mum, and therefore the question of whether you're allowed to let out the dam and make a mum is the question of whether you're allowed an animal that has a mum, could you make another mum anyway? B'matel mum b'bal mum. The Meir says, yeah, the pasuk says kol mum lo yeh, you're not to make any mum, even if it has a mum, you're not to make another mum. No, only if it's tamim, then you're not allowed to make a mum. But if it's not tamim, there's no din, you can't make a mum. Shoyin, it's finished already, right? Says what does he do with the pasuk of tamim? It's going to tell you that if you have a balmum meikara, meaning before it was kaddish, meirechem, even if it was born with a mum, it had a mum from when it was a fetus, then you're allowed to make a mum. Says the Gemara, if so, balmum meikara pshita pashat, the kedusha was never chal, dikla balmahu, right? It's just it's like a tree, right? It can't be actually kaddish. It can't be kaddish. Maybe it could be kaddish kedushas bedekabayis, right? Or if we're talking about a bechor. Either way, the Gemara is saying there's of course it's pasha that you would be allowed because it was never had the kedushas bechor. Ella lemute psula mukdashim lachar pidyonon. Ella, it's talking about according to Yomi, you have to say it's talking about if you have psula mukdashim. After Pidyonon, after you already paid it, I might think since it still maintains its kedusha, right? You have an animal that was supposed to be a carbon, and then it got a balmum. It became a balmum. You have to be paid it, and then you could eat it. But it's also begiz of avodah because all psulim mukdashim are also begiz of avodah. So I might think you're not allowed to share, you're not allowed to work with it. I would think maybe you can't make a mum either. Kamash malon, no. That's where you learn some tamim. Only if it's tamim, it's also. But once it's a balmum, it's mutter. What do they do with the pasuk kol mum lo yiboy? The gramahuda asi. That's coming not to tell you that if it already has a mum, you can't make another mum. It's coming to tell you that if it doesn't have a mum at all, you're not allowed to make any type of mum, even if it's just a grama. Even if you didn't actually make the mum, you only caused the mum. It's still asur. How? What's the example of grama? The tani mum lo yiboy ainli ella shelo yitin by mum. The mama should put a mum. How do I know if you shouldn't take a Zvela is like made out of dates, right? You can take or batzek or figs. It's figs, okay? The figs or batzek or dough, right? And you put it on the ear of the bechor. So that the dog will come and make a mum. Not only you put on any type of mum, meaning any way that you cause a mum would be asur. Okay, so that's the psukim. So you see, it's dependent on how you learn the psukim, right? As to whether or not you're allowed to make a mum to let out the dam or not, because it's mum achar mum, right? So that's the machlekes over here. And so too we have psukim by truma. We'll see that.